Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to start a YouTube channel so I could dive deeper into the things that are important to me, kind of like exercise and fitness and health and raising kids and being just a badass parent overall. So I guess I could dive straight into it. We're gonna talk about the importance to me with exercise and introducing that to your children at a young age. We're all kind of dealing with the same modern technology issue of screen time and trying to find that balance, what's okay for my child and what's gonna be detrimental. And I can say it's a scary thing that we're all dealing with. Our experience with our first son was, we really liked to go out to eat, and when he got to the age of like 2, he's a very strong-willed kid. We would try to go sit down at dinner, and he would start having his freakouts or meltdowns, and this normal kid behavior when you want to strap him down at a dinner table in a nice restaurant. It just doesn't go hand in hand. And then we're like, oh, okay, I guess it's okay if we put some Disney on for him, right? And then that kind of transferred into like in the car, if he was having a freak out, that we'd pull out the phone and put some Disney on or something while we're driving. And then, he was getting at the house. And then we really just witnessed what would happen and, the reaction that we would have when we would take it away. And it got to the point where, we discovered this together pretty quickly that like it was not doing any good for our son. I can't think of a single good thing that there comes from screen time right now at the age that he was at. He was at 2, now he's 5. I still feel the same way at this age. It's really just on the parents, because these kids are going to have freakouts regardless. If you give them the phone, they're going to really have freakouts when you take it away because it's so stimulating. So it's like you have to have a backbone. You have to put your foot down and set boundaries with your children, not be like, okay, sorry, here's the cell phone, because that's going to be so detrimental to them as they get older. And that just kind of goes hand in hand with, what fitness taught me at a young age was things like, how to be dedicated to something. One of the biggest ones is just teaching me delayed gratification, especially when it gets into lifting weights and building muscle. Like you're talking years and years, decades of hard work before you get to see the, ultimate results that you really want. And then, another thing that it really helped me with was just learning to not give up when things get hard. I pretty much will never give up on something that has been hard. I hit it head on and I just keep on trucking no matter what's coming at me. And I really attribute that a lot to fitness and sports and getting into that at a young age. I do have like a morning routine where, you guys will see it on my Instagram a lot that I am out there doing my burpees every morning. And, my kids watched me for, probably like a week, just kind of like, oh, what's dad doing? And then it kind of turned into like, they both came running out one day and they're like, wanting to join me because they're like, hey, dad's doing this looks fun. And now it's just transpired, they half the time they're out there with me or before me. My daughter walks out there with some of her breakfast half the time and they're, wanting to try out their burpees, and my daughter's not even 2. And so like for them to start, seeing that and, just modeling that behavior is really awesome to see. And then, I see my son, when he goes out there and he's in the class or, out there playing sports with other kids, you can tell like on their TV or watching TV or on screens a lot, you can see the difference. Or when he's in a room with 20 kids at a birthday party and you can tell the way he commands attention and he takes charge, and like, there's just, so much to be said on screen time and also just how you parent your child. Like you can't just be a pushover. You got to have a backbone. And I'll say that a lot. My kids come out with me all the time to do the burpees, which is awesome. But this is one of my favorite points is that, I'm just leading by example, right? So they see me doing, these burpees and they think, hey, that's fun. Let's go join them. And that's just me leading by example, right? So it's like, they're going to do that with everything you do in life. The way you act, the way you talk, the way you exercise, the way you get yourself ready in the mornings, the way you work hard. If they witness you doing good things, they're going to emulate your behavior. They're going to do those same things. And if you're going to be a shitbag and you're not going to take care of yourself, you're going to take your kids to school and you're not ready, like whatever it is, then they'll start to model those bad behaviors too. So it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad, they're going to model those behaviors. So you got to, deep down be thinking all the time, like, hey, my kid is constantly watching me. I need to model the best behavior I possibly can because this world is a scary place and I want my kids to be savages. I want them to walk into a room and command attention and not be glued to a screen and just like so dependent on these, technology, which granted, there is a time and place for it and I'm super for technology, but I don't want my kid to have to be glued to that and to be addicted to that. So to wrap things up, I think it's extremely important to introduce your kids to fitness and exercise at a young age, because they're just going to take everything they learn from that and it's going to go on with the rest of their lives, especially like the things I've touched on. They're going to learn how to be dedicated. They're going to learn delayed gratification. They're going to learn to work through things when they get hard. You know, it's really sad when you see a kid who, you know, fails at something and then they get frustrated and they just give up. And that's kind of like what you would call like a fixed mindset. Another thing you can, another way you can come at it is with the growth mindset and be like, hey, you failed. This is a learning experience. What can you learn from this to do better next time? So yeah, these are just some of the things that I'm going to be touching on my YouTube channel. I'll probably be coming out with one a week. So if you can, subscribe, comment, like, follow, all those things. It's really helpful. Appreciate you.